The most important indicator that I have found in this one is going to be the 21 SMA on the daily, otherwise known as that middle Bollinger Band. Right now you're sitting at 1105. I would look for a break of the support level that you're at right now, roughly what, 1196. That's where it ends roughly. Look for a breakdown and then look for an entry point at 1105 if you're a bull on this company short term. Watch and make sure you get a bounce off this. But I want you to realize that this stock has gone from $1 all the way up to 12. And I also want you to realize that there's two things that are also going to play a big part into the stock. Number one is going to be the suits, right? The manipulators, and then the people who will fight against them. That's going to be the first reason why technicals are going to be a little bit disproportionately less important compared to other stocks, I would say. The fact that there's no clear advantage for the bulls or bears from current price. I mean, there really is no advantage, I would say, no clear advantage. If we look at the moving averages really quickly, you have a golden cross between the 200-day exponential moving average and the 15-day moving average. You also have the 55-day moving average, the teal one, crossing below the orange one, which is the 15-day, just recently on the 13th of May, right? So last week, or I guess closer to 2 weeks ago, but that is going to be a golden cross, and that's going to represent some bullish momentum for the stock most likely. That's what I would consider the second most important golden cross after, of course, the 200-day EMA and the 15-day moving average form. If we look at the SAR and the Supertrend card on the top right, if you don't understand these indicators, you are in bullish territory on the daily. But of course, I always say, look at the daily and the 4-hourly. Those are the two most important SAR and Supertrend timeframes by far. The other ones are not as great. But this 4-hourly chart, you have the flip to bearish. And I always like to say, the longer you have one indicator going, the more likely it is to flip, right? I mean, just look at the green here, okay? It was going on for a while. It flipped, okay? Now, of course, it's not like, oh, we've been going on for a while. It's time to flip now. It's been 15 days. No, of course not, but it's just more likely to. And it is inevitable, of course. You cannot go up or down perpetually. It is impossible, especially with a time frame like the 4-hourly. Another thing that I guess not necessarily another thing, but one thing I really don't like for the price action, strength-wise, is that you're literally clinging on for dear life in this level of support, right? You have several validations in this level, really struggling to get a bounce. And typically when you see a stock go down to a level of support and then it just stays there, the more you touch that support level, the more likely it is to break. Remember, one of the most important rules of what we're doing, of charting, of technical breakdowns, right? The more times you touch a level of resistance or support, the more likely it is to break. And right now we've had we've technically only had one daily close in it, but we've had 3 daily closes right around it. And we've had 3 days in a row subsequently that we've wicked down and touched at least 12.13, and we did touch $12 on the 20th. If we look at the RSI and the MACD, I want to look at the relative strength index first. You're looking at 56. You're neutral. You're closer to being overbought and oversold barely. You're really not looking too bad there. On the MACD, you are in bullish territory, but not by much. And the signal line is going to be gaining. Well, it has gained some momentum on the MACD line in the last few days. As far as chart patterns, right? If we look at if I draw up a trend line here, we do have some sort of a descending triangle, obviously. Here's the thing, it's not very validated, it's not very surefire. Here's why. You only have 2 touch points on the top descending resistance. So it's like, well, it's not very validated. Yeah, it is not very validated at all. That's why I waited till now to let you know about this, because it's not the most likely thing to happen. Also, of course, descending triangles, they are bearish. They are a bearish chart pattern. Now, of course, we've seen the descending triangles result in a 2x after you got a breakout. Literally the exact opposite of what is supposed to happen. So, of course, you could trade sideways in this triangle and then break out and then head up to the price target. Here, let me draw up a price target. This is one of many ways to draw a price target. This is how I would draw up the price target. For this one, I would rather be a little bit more conservative. If you were to trade sideways and then break out on the day of the price action kind of condensing, or maybe here, let me extend this a little bit. If we were to break out like, I don't know, right there, right? It doesn't have to be exact. You're going to be looking at 2x, okay? You're going to be looking at least like an 80, 90, 100% gain if that were to happen. Now, of course, technically, you're more likely to go to the downside on a descending triangle. Now, is that more likely to happen? You're literally in the negative. So it's like, well, that's not going to happen probably. I guess they could get technically delisted, not likely to happen. But I'm not trying to be biased. I'm trying to give you every indicator and what that indicator says, right? I haven't told you my opinion yet, whether this is going to be bullish or bearish the next few weeks, what your entry point is. I want to give you all different indicators and every source of information you can get, though. So we got the Fibonacci retracement drawn up now, and what I am really noticing is that the 61.8% retracement, right, that golden golden ratio, right? The perfect level of a bounce. You are holding that as of now. You know, you had a little quick dip down to 78.6, a little bit of a, you know, I mean, this is, the price action and chart pattern, it's absolutely unheard of, right? I mean, come on, you go from $2, $20, then you go back to $5, and this is all because, you know, squeezing the shorts, and then the shorts are doubling down their positions, pushing us lower, you know, manipulation. We're not even getting into that, right? We're not even doing the news for this stock. The short interest, we could check out the short interest and the hedges and what they're doing, but this one is just a full technical breakdown. But those other news, those other pieces of information, you need to be aware of those. But talking about the Fibonacci, right? There is a point to why I brought the Fibonacci out. It is a perfect level of congruence with that natural rectangular level of support right there. So that is a potential entry point if you're bullish on the stock. If you see $9 again, now are we going to see $9 again? Many people would call me a madman. Many people would call me, hey, you're wearing a suit. You're starting to sound like a weenie baby. You're one of the suits, man. Come on. Well, I'm just trying to be fair. $9 would be a good entry point based on the historical price action and the golden ratio. It's an auspicious buy if you see it there. Now, are we going to see it there? Probably not. Probably not, just given, well, God, there's so many reasons, but I'm just going to leave it at that. We're not really doing the fundamentals. So short term, what's your entry point, right? One entry point is going to be the, what is it, 1125, the 50% retracement. That has seen a fair amount of support. And if you don't just, you cannot go on the Fibonacci, you cannot trust the Fibonacci's unless they're actually validated, right? So if we zoom in here, you can actually see we have several validations, right? We have a support level there. We have one touch point there almost, right? We have almost a perfect one there. Okay, some there. Boom. Perfect validation there. This is what you want to see, right? You don't want to see something like, you know, the 78.6%. Yes, you have a perfect validation there, but you have complete false signals right here. False breakdown, like the worst false breakdown. That's a trader's nightmare right there. Literally, stop loss get hit, then you 2x. Literally, I mean, that is a trader's worst nightmare, my friends. So you got to be careful with these Fibonacci levels. But anyways, that is a level to watch. And this is not even all of the indicators for AMC. We've got other indicators to go over. We got other time frames. There's chart patterns on the small time, on the small time frames. There really, I mean, there is a potential for a cup and handle here. I'll go ahead and talk about this real quick. This being the cup, and then this being the handle, and the price target would be the sum of this trend line measure from here to here, placed at the breakout sign. That is a potential, is a potential chart pattern. And besides that, that's pretty much all the most important stuff I would say that I have found. The weekly Bollinger Band is something to keep in mind as well. The AMC crew is not going to like what I have to say there, but we can go over more indicators if this video actually got any views, which I'm not expecting. But if it did, we can do a full breakdown on not only the rest of the technicals, which we've got thousands of indicators to go over, right? I'm not even doing the accumulated distribution line. We can go over that as well, the volume, the short interest, the fundamentals, the news, right, the manipulation, all this crap, the sentiment on Reddit, right? We can do all the AMC stuff. But before we do anything else, I want to say, for full transparency's sake, I do not own any AMC stock, right? I know most YouTubers, they like to conveniently just skip over the part where they show the portfolio. Not me, my friends. We show the portfolio every video to ensure transparency and honesty. I guess sometimes I don't, just for like convenience sake, but I show it every day. Okay, I show it in every live stream. I show it in almost every video. Okay, so here you go. Those are all my positions. That's the exact dollar amount I have in everything. Here's the quantity, right? You've got everything. Okay, I show you the portfolio for transparency and honesty's sake. No, I do not have a position into AMC stock. I will tell you. You know what? I'll tell you what. If this video does well, I will tell you what I'm planning to do with AMC stock. So take that into whatever interpretation and call to action for you that you may. Anyways, thank y'all so much. I will see y'all in the next one.